Alrighties then. We're going to do two different ones that are going to be beneficial to do in both of these. The three-touch rule and the dual trend line system. Um, these are essentially, you're taking the support and the resistance, okay? And we're combining this into a trading strategy form that when you see this, you can understand what it means to utilize the market reversal in your that's advantageous to you. And so I'm going to show you how to do this off of a pair that anything that trends nicely. Not all pairs trend really good, but the ones that do, you can utilize this strategy in a really beneficial way that's going to help you make money. Now, again, if you don't have the winning mindset that it takes to make money in trading, none of this stuff is going to matter. It just looks really good, and it's like and I'm sure you've probably already said it to yourself, wow, when he does this and explains this and puts it in front of my face, it makes a lot of sense. But as soon as I go try to pull it up on the market, I'm over here looking incompetent. I have no idea what's going on. It's because I understand how to do this, but then even when the live market is running in front of my face, I've developed the winning attitude and mindset in order to bring money from this market and do this properly. Okay, so this three-touch rule is something that I love to use. I use this all the time. This is like in my main ILT strategy. And the dual trend line system. This is going to help you not get so confused in a sense of where the money actually is, and it's going to show you where to put proper stop losses in place so that you protect yourself in the market. Okay, so I'm going to show you this example on Euro USD. Okay, so what we're going to do is, now that you understand where money actually is, okay, when you start to get where money is, the three-touch rule is going to help you understand where this money really is starting to come into play at. Okay, so when you get this down, anything that is like this and shoots up, or like this and shoots down, or here, see how it comes back and forth, these are all peaks and valleys. That's all where money is at. Same thing here. This is a peak right here, this is a valley right here, this is a valley right here. These are all peaks up there, those are all valleys. So when I zoom in and I look at the market, see how that's a peak there, a valley, a peak, a valley, a peak, a valley. And then when you're doing this, this is your high, that's your low, that's your higher high, that's your higher low, that's your higher high, that's your higher low, that's your higher high, right there, until it stops. See how it doesn't make a higher high anymore? See how the valley goes there? So when you're looking at this again, remember, it's like this. This is how it looks. See that? That's how it looks right there. That's how it has to like start to look in your head when this stuff happens. Now, when we're doing the three-touch rule, okay, when we're doing this, I'm not even going to draw it out. I'm going to let you see it on a live example in the market, because I want you to see how this works. The market is going to move, and it's not going to move this fast. Okay, this is just this is a bar replay where you can see the market in the past and you can back test. So that's what this is really good for. This is what any really good trader does, is when they're trying to learn a strategy and do things, they're back testing. That this is what I had to do all the time, and I mean, you guys can do it too, as you practice what I'm teaching you and the stuff I'm showing you. But I've done a lot of the work as far as, putting these things together. Now, something that's important to see is this push right here, and this movement that happens right here. Okay, when you see this right here, this is a valley in the market right here. All right, so this is a touch. Okay, do I switch it up a little bit? This is a touch right here. This right here is a touch. How do I know that that's a touch right now? Because what the market does is it touches and it pushes away. So what it does is it pushes away like that. Now, I'm not going to know where this thing is going to turn around at in this specific moment. I'm just going to pretend I have no idea. I'm not going to use any structure from over here at all. whenever this thing decides to turn, I'm going to know that that's where it decides to turn. Now that I know that this is a touch right here, I know that that's touch number 1, okay? So since I know that that's touch number 1, what I'm doing in this instance, and that I'm just drawing that as a 1, hopefully we can understand that means 1 right there. That's touch number 1. Now, what I want to see is I'm looking for alignment in the market, all right? So if this thing decides to turn around there, it decides to turn around, okay, cool. So as these things happen, I'm watching the market. I'm just seeing what the market does in this instance, okay? So the market is still pushing up to the upside, as you can see. And this is what? An uptrend. You guys should be able to see that's an uptrend right there. See that? Until it's not anymore. Now, if price comes down to here, what we want to see is if price stops at this level, if it does some kind of stopping point. Now, do you see how the market stopped at this level right here? You see how that went right there? So in this instance, in the market, this is touch number 2. All right. Now, I know this is touch number 2 because this is in alignment with touch number 1. This is not by mistake. Again, these things do not happen by mistake, guys. Okay? These things do not happen by mistake at all. So that's 1, that's 2. See that? So this excitably had went up here to this point right there, and then this thing decided to shoot down, and it decided to hit at this level right there. Okay? So as it decided to come there, see how the market excitably shot up right there? That's touch 1, that's touch 2. Now, what I am going to do is, if you remember your support and resistance lessons, this is actually how a support it gets created right here. Now, what I like to do is I normally always do this. So I'm going to delete these circles off here because I want us to be able to see this properly. I always use a candlestick chart. You don't have to use a candlestick chart, but for me, I use a candlestick chart. So I go and I can draw. Now you can draw either lines like this. You can draw a line like this and say, okay, this is my support. And if you in your head, and I want you to get this out of your head if you struggle with this, you see how this thing came through here, and you're like, oh, it broke support, it's gonna go down. No, that's not how it works. That's just giving you an idea of where the market ended up going to. Even if you're trading on like the hourly time frame, and you guys look at it, and in the hour chart, it's below there. These things happen all the time. Price goes a little bit lower in order to get more volume of traders, in order to get more money and go in the opposite direction. Because remember, if you're currently winning on your trade, someone is losing. You understand that if you're buying here, someone is selling, and you're making money and they're losing money. That's how trading works. That's why, and I'll get into it later in my lessons, once we reach the final place in the packet, when I talk about like you guys want to have drawdown in trading, like you got to embrace the drawdown. That's got to be the really exciting part for you, instead of the bad part that makes you feel like you're just incompetent of trading. The drawdown is what helps you begin to understand that I am being in balance with the market. I'm in flow with the market, because I can't win all the time. Because if I win all the time, then what happens is there's no more market, because one strategy beats all. And if one strategy beats all, there's no more balance anymore. So there's a balance that has to happen inside of this market, and that's what you want. So understanding that this is touch 1 and that's touch 2. Now, what you want to happen any point in time, that this market comes from right here over to here in this point right here. This area right here in this time frame, this is where, if this thing, when I say any point in time, let me specify. I mean, if this thing just shoots straight down right there, that's going to be touch 3. Okay? If this thing comes like this and like shoots over here like this, That's going to be touch 3. Anytime this thing comes over on this point right here in this aligned fashion, that is going to be your touch number 3. Now, you want the market to do this. You want the market to come and touch these levels. See how that's touch 1, it pushes up. Touch 2, it pushes up. So when this happens, you're looking for the market to come again and touch this level, because you have enough data backing that if price comes over to this level, then from right here and right here, what does it do? Does it go down when it reaches that line? No. It touches it and the market pushes up. It touches it and the market pushes up. So if the market comes over here and it touches it, then what do you expect it to do? What is the probability that you're thinking it's going to do? It's going to go up until what? It doesn't. Now, that's where a lot of you start to get in your own head and you start to get confused. Well, what if it doesn't go up? It doesn't matter. Get that out of your head. Remember, I'm reprogramming you to start to think differently. I'm showing you need to unlearn a lot of different things in life that has to do with not understanding this market. You have to unlearn a lot of stuff. And then you have to learn what it takes in order to make money here. So that's touch 1, that's touch 2, this is touch 3. Now, for me, horizontally, I don't normally do this right here unless it's really good. This is a really good horizontal line, but I'm always doing boxes. When I do horizontal lines, I'm drawing a rectangular box. So what I do is I normally go from about the close of the first candlesticks, and I just draw it through right here, about like this. That, to me, is the strongest point of reversal in the market. Anywhere in this box right here is the strongest point of reversal. Notice I can't draw a horizontal line. Like, I can't draw it, like, see that right there? See how I can't draw it like that? I have to do it this way. So it would be no different if I did this right here. This is how this would be no different. If I were to do this right here. Here. And then I were to just literally take this and clone this right here like this. It would be no different. It's easier to draw a rectangle than it is to draw a line. But the dual trend line system is the same exact way. Watch this. I'm going to use it on this example right here, and I'm going to use it again. This is the close of the candlestick. See the close of the candlestick? See the close? So what I do is I take it like this, and I draw it like that. Then what I do, that's the strongest point of reversal. Then what I do is I clone this line, and I put it from the furthest point of reversal. And now what happens is anywhere in this box right here, that is a reversal point. That's a potential reversal point until it's not. So watch this. If I do it on the flip side, right, I do it like this. So this is pretty much how I would do it on this instance here. And then I'm going to come over here. Remember, it's not about being right and wrong. It's just simply about what does the market tell us about this. So notice that's the close, and it doesn't hit the close right there. That's fine, but notice how it reverses right there. Notice how it reverses up here. It reverses right here. Notice how this is break and retest. Once it breaks it, it comes under. See how it's under now? And then it pushes down. See how it was under right here, and then it pushes down? That's break and retest. That's what we talked about last video. This right here is 3 touch. One, it can go here, here. Okay, let's just use this one for example. 1, 2, 3. That's your trade right there. That's where you're starting to buy. 1, 2, 3. That's your trade right there. That's where you're starting to sell. Sell. I call this 3 touch to infinity. So when we do this, 3 touch to infinity means that every single time it touches that support or resistance that you have identified in the market that is a strong support and resistance, you take that trade to infinity. So if it touches it 4 times, you take the trade. 5 times, you take the trade. 6 times, 7 times, 8 times. It doesn't matter. However many times that it touches that line, you take the trade. Because there is an ample amount of money to be made in those trades, guys. It's so ridiculous. Like, and the better you get at not getting in your head and thinking like, oh, well, what if it doesn't reverse here? Oh, well, what if that one person on Instagram that I follow is sending a free signal and they're telling me that I need to buy this and I don't need to sell this. But what I've learned is I need to sell this in order to buy this. Like, all these different things. And you hear me even say it. Like, I'm going to take a buy on this. Okay. If I decide to take a buy on this line right here, and it is 1, 2, and 3, and the market is coming over, here we go, and the market is doing this right here, and the market gets right there, and I take a buy, there could be something that someone else has seen that they're selling this and they're adding to selling positions. Now, to what I described to you, it wouldn't make any sense to sell, but there's other strategies that it goes in a different way than the way I'm doing things. So understanding this as to they could be selling because of some huge thing that they've seen up here. It doesn't matter. It's about how you trade your strategy. That's what it's about. It's how much you trust and believe in your trading strategy and then understanding the probabilities game in trading. Now, we haven't gotten to that yet. These are a lot of the stuff I'm talking about is simple things that you can do. When we get into the more complex stuff, it's in a totally different section. What you have to focus on first, though, is understanding that's touch 1, that's touch 2, that's touch 3. That's touch 1, that's touch 2, that's touch 3, that's touch 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, when this happens, when we look at the market, this is ideally what we want it to do. Okay? It does not have to do this, though. We want it to do this, it doesn't have to do this. So I don't want you to not think that this is something that cannot happen. So understanding that this can come over to this level right here, that's what we want it to do. That's what our strategy is telling us to do, that our 3-touch rule is telling us to do, that we have that box. But it doesn't have to do it. It does not have to happen. When you see this here, and you look at the levels there, you see the market is going up, and you see the market is going up, and you see the market is going up, and you see the market is going up. This does not matter anymore. This is over here in the market. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. I don't want you to get confused. This is done. This doesn't matter anymore. This is now done. We wanted that to happen. It's not happening. It's not there. It does not matter anymore. Look at the market. This is the market actually moving right now, as you see. Here's the market going. This is just this is literally the market doing what it does here. See this big move right here? You see that really massive? This is an entire excitable move right here, guys. Notice how the market started here and it just had a huge, massive push. We're not going to know until this thing does a pullback if this is the all-time high yet. It's starting to get into that pullback territory. This is definitely a pullback right here. This whole thing is a pullback right here. Okay, so from here to here is an excitable move. From right here to right here is an excitable move, 100%. Okay, so this would be your low. This is your movement of money, and this is your high right here. And you can see this. And I'm going to speed this up a little bit because it's going slow for what I'm trying to do. You can see this. I'm just trying to let this move through so you can see how this is going to work in real time, and really getting and really placing the lines in the correct ways that this needs to be placed. Right now, this is, here we go. It's moving a little faster than I wanted. See this right here, and see how the market pushed up right there. See this coming down right here, and the market pushed up right there. See that? See how the market pushed down right here, down right here. This is a line that you would draw right here, right here. This is going to be a line right through there that you're going to draw. It got very close to hitting it. You can draw this line from right here to this point like this. This is a way you can draw this. Here, actually, let me do this. You can draw it just like this. See that? And then you can dual trend line this thing in, because this is a daily chart, and you can draw just like this, and this becomes your line. You take this line straight through here like this, okay? You take this line straight through here like this, okay? This is it right there. That went through it. That's totally fine. It is not wrong that it did that. You're going to lose on trades. If this thing comes back up here and you decide to take a sell off of this range right here, and your stop loss is somewhere in the range of this, and you lose it, it's totally okay. Remember, I said you're gonna have to lose in order for you to be able to make money in this. This is that line though through here, and I want you to pay attention to this because this is extremely important in understanding what's happening in the market here. So it didn't quite hit this line yet. I'm trying to draw this through the right way. And see this right here? See this line? See how it hit it right there? I'm going to pause this. Do you see how it hit that line? That is where your dual trend line system comes in. It just gives you a place, in a sense, comfort that this is where buyers are getting engaged at. See how it got really close to hitting out there and it didn't hit it? It's okay. Like, I know it might have missed it, but it's fine because you need to be patient enough to wait on it to hit your zone. You're developing this understanding of the market. You're developing on how to read this market. That's what you're doing. And what you need to understand is it has to reach those zones because that's what keeps you disciplined. Okay, so letting it get to that point is extremely important. Until this line that is not respected, now it needs to reach this point right here. So see, that's your sell right there. That is a sell. See how the market is right there? Do you see this is a daily chart? This is your trade that you're going to take off the dual trend line system right here. This is your trade you're going to take off of it. This is 3-touch rule. 1, drop. 2, drop. 3, that's your trade right there. Whatever happens on this point, if it decides to go up, you don't have any control over, but what you do have control over is your risk. And we're going to get into risk later on the academy, but right now I just need you to focus on whenever it touches these lines, what you're doing. So again, 1, 2, 3. So to draw it out to make it look better, we can go here. That one looks so ugly. Here for 2. This is supposed to be 3, but it doesn't hit it. That is terrible. Hold on, I gotta draw this thing to where it at least looks somewhat logically makes some kind of sense. That's a good 3. Okay, I can at least deal with that. Okay, so and this is gonna be onesies right here. That's 1. This is gonna be 2. There we go. And this is 3 right here. So looking at this again, it's weird because this thing doesn't lock. So I have to draw this like kind of weird, but it's much faster than me having to draw those little lines. Okay, that's 3. You take that trade. Whatever happens, see how the market's in there? You lose that trade right there. See how it goes through and pops through that zone? That's your 3rd touch. The market is still going up. That's why I said I could be selling here and someone else could be buying because they see something else in their strategy, something else in what they see is pushing price higher. It is extremely important that you understand these things, guys, and that you see these things. That is the market pushing price higher right there, okay? That's the market pushing price to a higher level at that point. And the buyers are winning. So what do we have? Break and retest usually. So we would just wait on the market to get back down there, and that's your break and retest. That's where you would buy at. See that? See how that works right there? That's break and retest strategy, guys. Any of you guys who are more adept in trading and understand that, do you see how perfect that was on those dual trend lines? So if you understand trading and you're not in your head, you know you're buying right here because these zones of sellers got broken and they established It was established. Money was here. Money was here. Money is there. So when it breaks it and comes back, there's a new surge of money in now. And that's what we're doing. So that's the way to read that right there. So that's the moves on there. So paying attention to this is extremely important, guys. This is massively important. So I'm going to pause this real quick, and I'm going to delete these lines here because I don't want you guys to get confused, because as the market moves, we're not going to like keep these lines all the time. That's just not what we do. And like I said, as you guys, and I'm telling you, one of the best things that you can do also in the academy is being in the elite zone. It's very inexpensive. I don't charge a lot for it because it does take my time, but it's something that instead of getting me, doing a one-on-one training that's much more expensive, spending $100 monthly to have 12 live webinars for you, that we break this down. We do this together. Can be extremely beneficial. It can take your trading from 0 to 100 in just a matter of a couple of months, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, however long you need. It takes you much further if these videos don't make 100% sense for you, because we're not going to keep those lines always, because there's new buyers, there's new sellers that come into the market, and you have to understand this about the market. So we can't be in a vacuum. So no longer I can be in a vacuum anymore. So what do I mean by that? Now look at this. I now shift out because the market is starting to do different things now. Here is the new set of movement of money in the market. This is massive. Why? I could see this over here, and now I knew that this is a massive movement of money. Just like those little small moves that we had right here and right here, that is movement of money. That is movement of money. So guess what? This is now where the market is actually currently trading at, okay? This is where it's at right here. So to understand this, if price comes back down there at that level, do you understand that that is a zone in which we are going to buy? Because why? Let's go back here. Let's go back and make this ugly 1 that just looks terrible. 1, that looks like I don't even know what the hell that looked like. The 2 is a little bit easier to make. That's 2, and then here is going to be 3. If it comes to it, that's what we want, okay? Now you just have to see what the market does. All right, that's it. So when we do this again, this is us just letting the market do what it needs to do. So price comes down to there. See the tap right there? That's your trade. So to do this, that looks so bad. To do this the best way. So here is pretty much the strongest point of reversal, and I'm going to just get the furthest point of reversal, okay? So see that right there? That's the furthest point of reversal. See how we can see that? See, that's the tip of that wick right there, all right? Zoom this in a little bit. Spread this like this. See that now? So that's your buy right there. That's your third touch. Price reaches that level. Do you see how the market went up there? That's a winning trade. See how the market got right back down there? That's a buy again, guys. See how the market gets down there? That's a buy again, guys. See how the market is right in those levels? This right here is the absorption of orders. So orders are getting absorbed in this level right here. The market is going to make a decision whether it wants to go up and whether it wants to go down. But what the most important thing to do now is for you is that you have to understand what it means to actually know market reversal. So that's what these videos are doing, is I'm just teaching you exactly what it means to have market reversal and to understand this. There's more beyond this besides just learning this strategy, and that's as we get further along in these videos, because this is just trading, this is just market reversal. That's all this is. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. All you have to worry about is buy, guys. That's it. This is the dual trend line system. 1, 2, 3. And then if it goes and breaks this thing, you lose the trade, oh well. And then of course you can use other trading strategies inside of here of break and retest on this. So you can see that there. See what price does here. As you see, it's trading around that. See how the price went up right there? That's you winning that trade. That's literally all that is. If it comes back down, see that right there? That's you losing that trade. Because see how it's no longer following that buying zone? It followed it there, followed it there, it followed it there. See how it didn't anymore? Now you're just getting into break and retest. You can do the same thing if you want to zoom in on this. Make this a little bit easier to read. Okay, there's all these little smaller ones that come in. I'll just shift this to a smaller time frame. There's all these little smaller one that comes in. See this right here? See straight through here? Pushes up, pushes up, pushes up, pushes up. Here. This is your zone right there. That's basically your zone right there. Strongest point of reversal. There you go here. That's it right there. And of course you keep these lines here to just help you guys. That's all you do. So, and you see it, if it comes to that line, you buy. Like there's no questions. If it comes up here, you're going to sell. Why? See that right there? It's because it broke this zone and that becomes touch number 4. Because yeah, that's weird, number is 3. That's touch number 4 because see how it I'll pause this for you guys so you don't get confused. See how it went up and see how it went through. This is break and retest. It broke it. It came back and it retested what was once a buying zone, what was once a support, is now a resistance. So see that right there? That is breaking to the downside. We have the same thing happening, guys, to the upside. Okay? This is how you mark up your charts. There's a point where you have to get to where you trust yourself with your markups. Me, I just fully trust myself. So every time it reaches my zone, I just buy or sell. I don't really ask any questions. I don't have to because I know what I'm looking for. This is that zone through here. So see that right there? See how it just hit that zone? That's a buy. See how it just hit that zone again right there? That's a buy. The market is collecting orders. It's going to make a decision. Does it want to go up right here? Does it want to go down right there? I don't know. It's still buying territory. That's all buying territory right there. And then either you get rewarded for your trade or you don't. And do you see how the market is pushing up right there? See how the market was here? And you see how the market is pushing up at that level right there? I don't 100% know what it's going to do. I can just see that that's a buying zone right there. And I'm getting rewarded on this trade right here, even though it's not going extremely fast up. I'm getting rewarded. See how it's still going higher? Because I know that's my buying zone. And we've crept in over to this break and retest zone again. Remember this guy that we had over here? I'm just moving it even more. This is exactly where the market is at right now at this moment. So this is live now. Just exit out of this. That's live. What can we expect from the market as it comes up to here? What has normally happened in the past when it got to these lines? It did what? It went down. So when we have our setups properly, we don't have to guess anymore. We don't have to sit here and be like, well, I don't really know what the market is going to do. And me, I personally love I personally love price action, support and resistance trading. That and patterns. Those are the biggest things that I really like in trading. And the next section that you go to after this section, we're going to get into patterns because they're very dominant in the market also. There's been a lot of patterns that happened while I was showing you these videos, but I'm going to teach over them a little bit better and go into more depth with them. But right now, that's where the market is currently trading at, guys. This is actually live happening. So you can see that if price gets up here, that's touch 1, that's touch 2. Guess what? That's going to be touch 3. So all this is about is understanding what it looks like when there's a touch, what it looks like when there's a peak that gets created, what it looks like when there's a valley that gets created. This is extremely important in understanding trading on a completely another level. Is seeing this stuff right here, guys. So this is all in the supporting resistance section, these videos. There's a lot of information in these videos, and I hope that this really, really opened your eyes. Remember, don't get caught up in all of the in the future of this. Let's just say that. Just focus on one video at a time. Focus on understanding what I'm saying when I say that this is what it means when about market reversal, about to buy and to sell, what all this stuff means. Just focus on that. I know I say a lot of stuff in there because I know how your mind can wander. I know how you can start thinking about all these different things. But just focus on exactly what I'm saying when I'm saying it. When it reaches that point, that's where you buy. When it reaches that point, that's where you sell. When we talk about this strategy, about trend identification and break and retest, when we talk about how support and resistance forms, when we talk about three touch rule and dual trend line systems, when we talk about that, just focus on doing that properly every single time. And then when you go find a different pair or whatever, utilize this, back test this, that little bar thing right here on TradingView. TradingView is what you guys want to use. But that bar replay is very helpful to you. So I'm going to see you guys on the next video, and it should be the next section. We should be moving to patterns now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this section, and I will see you guys on the next section.